Hello and welcome to the Money Marketing Podcast. I'm Kimberly Dondo, Digital Content Manager. And in this week's Weekend Essay podcast, we have reporter Jean-Baptiste Andrieux addressing his basic financial needs. Take it away, JB.
After writing the first two features in our new series, Target Market, I felt that I should perhaps do more to manage my money. Hearing how complex the financial problems sport professionals and lawyers are facing made me feel guilty. Obviously, my financial needs are much simpler, but had never really addressed them. That was partly due to laziness, but also a strong dislike of paperwork. But is it reasonable for someone writing for and about individuals helping people to manage their money to ignore his own finances? For example, I knew that keeping all my money in my current account was not a good thing, and that I should at least open a savings account. I believe it was the first step I needed to take in my financial journey. Surprisingly, I found it was not an easy task. There are multiple options, and I did not really know which one would suit my financial situation best. What was the most essential to me was that my savings account should have flexible access. My work permit runs until 2025. Although I should then qualify to apply for permanent residency, there is always a risk that something could go wrong. As long as I do not have the confirmation that I may permanently stay in the UK, I will behave as I will have to leave in 3 years. Hope for the best, expect the worst has always been my approach to life. This is why flexible access to savings is so important, to avoid any complication should I have to leave, and I probably missed offers with a better annual rate. Perhaps the solution would have been to transfer all my money to my French account, but I wanted to avoid transferring money abroad, especially in another currency, which means paying a commission. Also, I want to keep track of how much I've saved since I started working in the UK. Saying that, I would have needed financial advice would be disproportionate, but I could certainly have done with guidance. Likewise, I would not say that my financial problems are complex. I'm very far from being a high net worth individual with too much money in the pension pot and ISR, or looking to optimize the tax relief. But I would not say that my financial problems are simple in the sense that they are slightly uncommon. My issue is that I want to make the most of my money while taking into account that I may need to withdraw everything at once in 3 years. It is by no means unique, but I do not know anyone who has been in this situation before from whom I could learn. I actually booked a proper appointment with my current bank to have a discussion on what savings account would be the best pick considering my situation. It proved to be a relative waste of time since the first thing I was told was, we do not provide financial advice. In the end, I just opted for the offer with a flexible access, but also with a very modest annual rate. As we speak, I'm on track to earn 50p in a year's time. If inflation permits, I might be able to buy a chocolate bar in 12 months. It is not that bad in the sense that I got what I wanted, a pot to isolate my savings. But I'm also unsatisfied because I know that I did not get the best possible outcome. There was just nowhere to turn for advice or guidance. It could be tempting to blame it on the advice gap, but my financial issues are too basic to request the expertise of a financial advisor. You do not call an electrician to change a light bulb. Yet, a problem may be basic, but not easy to solve nonetheless. Of course, I did my research online to find guidance, but individual circumstances may vary from one individual to another. In other words, there is no size-fits-all, even for the most basic problems. The point I want to emphasize is that there is a void between the moment one may need general guidance and the moment one may need financial advice. Although I've always seen them more as salespeople rather than advisors, I was expecting the staff at my bank to fill this void. I was prepared to listen to the recommendations with a critical ear, but it has not been necessary since I received none. I understand that it has become difficult for banks to provide advice to their clients since the introduction of the RDR in 2012. This is a topic my colleague Michael Klimes explored in depth in 2020. In this article, Raleigh Turton director and financial planner Scott Gallagher explained that banks are profit-driven, unlike IFAs which are advice-driven. As a result, a bank's business model might not lend itself well to provide financial advice, as they would most likely look to optimize the sales instead of providing the best possible advice to their clients. There are definitely incentives in preventing banks from providing financial advice, such as hindering mis-selling. The other side of the coin is that there are not many options left for the average Joe and Jane. That being said, high street banks are unlikely to be a solution for the future. The Economist Intelligence Unit and Temenos recently found that physical bank branches will have largely disappeared in Europe by 2025. In the UK alone, almost half of UK bank branches have closed since 2015 or are scheduled to shut in the foreseeable future. As for many other things, the solution for basic financial advice is likely to be digital, but it does not come without its share of challenges. Obviously, not everyone is comfortable with technology, but there might be other shortcomings. Some individual situations can be so peculiar that platform and application developers might not think of including features which reflect them. I'm not sure whether digital tools will ever have the same flexibility and adaptability as a human mind. In fact, there might already be applications addressing basic financial advice needs, but I'm simply not aware of their existence. I assume they are less visible and less vocal than other fintech tools, such as investment platforms or anything related to cryptocurrencies. If you look at the advertisements in the London Tube, for example, you're more likely to see things along the lines of "join the easiest and safest app to buy bitcoins" than "get our best advice to manage your money efficiently." I suppose there is no perfect solution. For now, I have found a solution to my problem, even though there were certainly better options out there. I might want to get my head around my pension pot next. Considering my situation and my logic, I should maybe have opted out, but that might be a topic for a future weekend essay.
Thank you, JB, for another excellent weekend essay. We do hope that you enjoyed it. Please do keep up to date with all our new releases via Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts from. You can also keep up to date with all our new content published on the Money Marketing website, as well as our Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next time.